So today I'll be doing a video discussing the true Escanor and why he can become the strongest character at the end of the series. Now, when it comes to Escanor, we know that he was introduced as a very hyped character. We saw that he was the last member of the 7 Deadly Sins revealed, and that was a huge thing because we saw that he wasn't revealed to the end, near the end of season 2, and we saw that he was also the first member to take out 2 members of the 10 Commandments, and that was wild because the 10 Commandments, they were looking like they're just something overpowered. We saw that they were making Bond run away. They were sunning Meliodas. We saw what they did to Meliodas. So the 10 Commandments, the fact that he took out 2 of them in one sitting was very strong. And we see that he's the one that mainly evened out the playing field for the 7 Deadly Sins, because if he hadn't showed up, Bond would have been toasted, and then the rest of the sins would have been toasted. So we know that he did play a huge role in evening out the playing field. And we saw that he did hold off Estarossa, and that was one of the most epic moments in anime history because that was one of the best fights. And we saw that it took Estarossa a pretty good amount of power to even stay alive after taking the beating from Escanor. And we saw that if it wasn't for Zeldris coming in and saving him, he might have ended up dying. But I know a lot of people, they don't know the origin of his power, and that is one of the biggest things where we have to talk about Escanor's character, because his power is what makes him so epic, because he's so strong. And we found out that his power comes from the supreme deity herself, and it is known as the Sunshine Grace. Now, that is basically being given the power of the sun, and that's why he's able to basically burn people like that. And we know that it originally was given to Mael, the Sunshine Grace, which I'm going to discuss later on in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. And we also found out that his weapon, the Rita, is a sacred treasure, and it allows him to release or basically illuminate the sky at night. And that is a very huge thing because that basically allows him to get to his big form when he is at night, because we know that obviously when he's at night he turns into a wimp. So when he does pick up the axe, he can basically turn it to the big form, and we know that he can call it at light speed to reach him. So he's basically like Thor 2, and it allows him to basically, when he's in the noon, or when he uses the 1 at noon, it makes his power invincible. And we saw that he was able to defeat Meliodas with a single attack. So that just goes to show you that his power is definitely very overpowered, and that isn't even all of it that we've seen, because we know that currently Escanor, he does not have his power. We know that he returned his power back to Mael in order to help fight Zeldris, and we know that he had to do that because number 1, Escanor, he was injured at the time, and Mael, he had just returned to sanity, and Mael had just had a new power up, so it did make sense on why he would want to give it to him. But we saw that Mael, he didn't want to even take Escanor's power, which I believe it was a hint at him basically returning the power to Escanor at some point. And I think it will make sense because Mael, he will still have the commandments of retinence and purity, and we've seen that he was able to use it in his angel form. So I definitely do think that Mael, he will give Escanor his powers back. And I believe that the true Escanor will be the strongest user of the Sun Grace, surpassing Mael, because it was said that Mael was known to be the angel of death, killing off many demons. And we've seen that Escanor, he has already gone toe to toe with many top tier demons. We saw that he went up against the Sinner. We saw that he went up against Cusack. Like, there was a lot, or I believe it was Chandler, but yeah, there was a lot of different top tier demons that he's went up against. Like I said, he took out 2 10 Commandment members, so I think he definitely can be known as the angel of death up there of Mael. And it was said that Mael was going to be one of the strongest members of the Goddess clan, and now that Escanor does have his power, I obviously do think that once Escanor does get his power back, because he doesn't have it right now, but once he does get it back, he will be able to surpass Mael, making him the strongest of all, and it will definitely make him stand at the top of all the clans, like he said in his introduction. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.